Hello, everyone. Welcome to this data engineering webinar. Lovely to see some people in here already. 32. Lovely. It'd be great to hear where everyone's from. Drop it in the chat, and perhaps drop your favorite emoji as well in the chat. Where's everyone from today? Leeds, Sutton, very nice, very nice. Oxford, cool. Brighton, Bedford, lovely. Manchester, oof. I'm a Chelsea fan, so can't say I'm too happy with the Manchester. Nottingham, London, that's what we like to see. London, Leeds, very nice, very nice. Kent, Sussex, Lincoln, James from Leeds. Wow, scattered about. Manchester, okay, very nice, very nice. And we'll just give it one more minute, see if we get a few more people in. Just while we're waiting, it'd actually be great to hear what your reasons are today for attending today's session. So, if my lovely colleague Kartika could drop a poll in the chat, there'll be one coming up for you shortly. If you guys can put why you're kind of attending today's webinar for data engineering, that'd be a really great insight and really great to hear. So the poll should have come up now. Um, There's 4 different options. It'd be great to hear why you guys are attending today's session. Okay. We've got an overwhelming favor of personal upskilling here. That's always good to see. Oh, I was just about to say, no one here for team development, but we got one for team development. That's nice to see. Curiosity, got a few there. 8 seconds, get a vote in, guys. Okay, so it looks like the overwhelming favorite is definitely personal upskilling. Okay, very interesting. Thank you guys so much for that. So I think we'll get started today with today's data engineering webinar. Really appreciate everyone that's attended today, taking time out. I'm sure a few of you are probably on your lunch breaks and things. So yeah, really appreciate that. So thank you very much. But yeah, really excited to talk to everyone today about the data engineering apprenticeship that we have here at Cambridge Spark. And just to tell you a little bit about myself, can everyone still see that? Yeah. Just to tell everyone a little bit about myself, my name is Finley Maxwell. I work here at Cambridge Spark. I'm a customer solutions advisor. Essentially, I help to work with different apprentices and employers to be able to bring them together, find the right apprenticeship for them, make sure that they're eligible, they're suitable, and that they're really looking to upskill in a role that's relevant for them. You do need to be in a relevant role to be able to enroll into an apprenticeship. That's just a requirement. But yeah, I've really enjoyed my time so far at Cambridge Park, coming up to a year. I'm really excited to see what the next year has in store. Today's agenda and what we're going to cover in today's session is right here. So we're going to get a nice introduction into Cambridge Spark. I'm going to tell you what we do, why we do it, and all the kind of details regarding Cambridge Spark and what we specialize in. We're then going to touch on, as I'm sure you're aware, data engineering, why data engineering is so important, and the real impact behind it, and what the impact is for organizations and for individuals growing your careers. We're then going to talk a little bit about the curriculum of the level 5 data engineer, more importantly, the different type of modules that you'll be covering and how it's kind of outset and the delivery of it as well. We're then going to touch on why someone is eligible and suitable and kind of the criteria that you do need to meet to be able to join an apprenticeship program with us. And then we're going to touch on and kind of recap on why we're so special as a provider, what makes us special, what makes us different and unique, talking about the application process and the next steps as well. And then any kind of questions, queries, concerns that anyone has, please feel free to drop them in the chat and we'll cover those as well. If you do want to drop them throughout, that's more than okay as well, but we will have a bit of time. I'll leave a few minutes at the end to answer any questions or queries as well. So to give you all a nice introduction into Cambridge Spark and who we are and what we do is we're an education technology company. We come into organizations, we work with people that are full-time employed, and we help to upskill them in data science and artificial intelligence. That is our goal here at Cambridge Spark. We want to help employees become a lot more proficient, data fluent, AI fluent, and being able to actually use data and AI hand in hand to be able to really create those operational efficiencies across the board in whatever you're looking to do. The way that you'll be learning with us is through our own platform that we've actually developed called Educate.ai. Educate.ai is really special to us because our founder Raul actually developed and created this platform initially. It's really special to us because it's our own platform. We don't outsource any of our training at all. You'll be doing lots of different modules, assignments, videos, loads of different ways to study on Educate.ai, which makes it really great. And not only that, you'll have live interactive workshops on there. For the data engineering apprenticeship, these live workshops will be every single week, and the workshops are really great because not only are they expert led, but they're also very collaborative as well. So you'll be going to breakout groups, you'll be doing that peer to peer learning. It's a really nice way to, of course, mix up from that typical self study, but not only learn from other people, but of course, you're running it through for an expert as well, an industry professional that will really take you through different concepts and modules along the curriculum. Now, in terms of the way you're supported with us, we actually provide you with two different support mechanisms. So we provide you with a learner success coach, and we also provide you with a data mentor that will be working with you one to one along the apprenticeship. So your data mentor will work with you on the more technical aspects of the apprenticeship. So they're going to be working with you on how do you effectively take the skills that you're learning on the apprenticeship and really drive those into your organization and really have that impact. So here at Cambridge Park, and the way that we deliver our apprenticeships is that we really want them to be as hands-on and as interactive as possible for you guys that run the apprenticeships. We want you to make sure that you feel like you're actually having an impact with the time that you're putting in to learn these new skills. And that's where your data mentor really comes in. They want to help you, of course, drive that value in, create those efficiencies. If you're looking to perhaps save time, save capital for your organization, whatever it might be, that's the role of your data mentor. Your learner success coach, on the other hand, they play that more pastoral role. They make sure that you're not falling behind any work. If you do need any kind of additional support, they're there to help you. Let's say you go on annual leave for 1 week. Let's say you're somewhere nice, Spain, not sure, somewhere nice and warm, and you missed that live session. They'll make sure it's recorded, sent across to you, so you can catch up on any work that you've missed. So they both play really pivotal roles. And you can see that Educate.ai and our support mechanisms here at Cambridge Park have attributed to above 62% distinction merit grades for all of our apprentices across the board. And the industry average is only 33%. So we're really proud of that number and we continue to push it higher. In terms of our other metrics, you can see there over £350 million of confirmed ROI for clients as well. And this is actually down to those work-based projects that I touched on that apprentices are doing with their data mentors and really being able to see some fantastic results and successes. And we do have a whole page as well on our website under case studies and testimonials, where you can actually see some fantastic testimonials and case studies from employers, as well as learners that have actually been through the apprenticeships with us. And you can see a few of the clients down there that we do already work with, lots of big names, Bloomberg, HSBC, BBC, etc. But we also work with lots of smaller employers as well. So we're not pigeonholed to one sector at all. You can be from a small employer that's got 3, 4, 5 employees. You can be from a huge organization like some of the ones you can see there as well. So in terms of the data engineering apprenticeship and the lead to the data driven transformation that we have here and what we're trying to help companies and individuals achieve is that our data engineering apprenticeship allows you to understand some really important components and upskill in a really important way that you might not already be aware of. So understanding the entire data engineering lifecycle and looking at data modeling, being able to really create and maintain those data analytics pipelines and be able to effectively deliver those valuable insights into whatever you're really looking to achieve in terms of objectives. And then looking at really maximizing the value of the data that you have. How can you prepare that data efficiently? How can you extract, transform, and load that data efficiently? That's a really key part of data engineering. And how can you effectively build those core technical and leadership skills that you can really use to support data-driven transformations for your organization or for your team, more importantly. And in terms of metrics, in terms of what our students have done and some of our apprentices have done, is delivered that real business impact. So 1.4 million pounds of revenue identified through data-driven insights is just one metric that we have there. But my favorite is to do with the machine learning models. That's a really interesting part. And one of them is 5 times quicker, faster machine learning model training achieved through different kind of automations, data pipelines, things like that. So some really great metrics there. And just a bit of evidence as to how upskilling in data engineering can really have that impact, not just for yourself and your personal career growth, but of course for your organization as well. So in terms of the data engineering curriculum, this is kind of what it looks like. This is the layout. This is the modules that you'll be going through with us on the apprenticeship. And just before we jump into a few of the different modules, in terms of the timing, the total duration of the apprenticeship is roughly 17 months. So what does that consist of? That consists of a 14-month learning period, and then you have a 3-month endpoint assessment period at the end. In terms of the timing that you need to dedicate to the program as well, you do need to dedicate a minimum of 6 hours per week, and these 6 hours do need to be done during your contracted working hours. So, from your typical 9 to 5 or 8 to 4, whatever your hours are, those hours do need to be done then. You can't do them on the weekend or after hours. As these are classed as on the job apprenticeships, you do need to dedicate those 6 hours during your typical working hours. In terms of the curriculum, then you can see we split it up into four key segments you'll be covering. So we start you off slow. You're looking into data engineering foundations. You're looking into Python and software engineering techniques, and really vital and crucial data engineering concepts that are going to set you up for success across the rest of the apprenticeship. You're then going on to look at what scalable systems can be used for ensuring that quality of data, ensuring that you can prepare, organize, sort, and of course, bring that data to success, which can be used by your data analysts, by your data scientists, making sure that data is in a perfect, clear, transformable way that can be used and extracted and loaded by, of course, analysts, scientists, and can be used further down the line. Especially for, like I was touching on, machine learning models, making sure that data is in the right format and is organized and sorted and prepared effectively is really crucial for machine learning models and AI solutions as well. You'll be then looking into sort of the GDPR side as well as DevOps and containerization, making sure you're, of course, using that data ethically, passing it through ethically when you are using data bricks, data lakes, data warehouses, making sure you're able to organize those kind of data pipelines and automations effectively as well. You're then looking at kind of the data product design elements and the implementations of those as well. And then the latter stages of the curriculum focus on the more advanced data engineering techniques and really the emerging trends and technologies that are prevalent at that point in time. So we want to make sure that sort of this is as you know a 14-month learning period. We want to teach you the most up to date and advanced data engineering techniques at that point in time. We know that the environment's changing very quickly. Data engineering as well as AI, of course, is adapting very quickly. We want to be able to teach you those things further down the line, and we always update and maintain our curriculum so you won't be learning anything old or something that's not relevant at all. You can see at the bottom there as well, there's three optional platform specializations. If you are using GCP, Azure, AWS, whatever cloud-based platform you're using within your organization, you can learn a bit more about that specific platform and go into a real depth into it. If it is Azure you're using, AWS, you can link and tailor your learning to that platform and make it a lot more seamless with what you're doing in your organization as well. Now, in terms of Educate.ai and why our platform is so special, and this is our learning platform that you will be using throughout the apprenticeship, just a few kind of great reasons, why Educate.ai is so good. So, first of all, you get real-time instant feedback on all the learning that you're doing there. So, we give you access to Jupyter notebooks, we give you access to dummy data sets as well. You can use those as much as you like, and you're, of course, in open learning environments, so you do get real-time instant feedback on all the Python code that you do submit on there. Another great reason is that you are in a sandbox environment, like I mentioned, with those dummy data sets. So you can test yourself as much as you like, you can do as much as you want, and it's a really great way to kind of upskill yourself as quickly as you like, essentially, on there. But another great reason why Educate.ai is really special to us and special to our apprentices is that you have that fantastic peer learning section. So it's a really great way for you to branch out, throw out some questions to different peers and experts on Educate.ai, and kind of not only increase your knowledge base, but gain that network as well. So you're in a community of people that, of course, are going to be on the same course as you. There might be some people in a different apprenticeship, for example, our data analyst apprenticeship or our machine learning engineer apprenticeship, but it is completely up to you, and you can really gain those connections and gain that community sense as well while being on Educate.ai. Um, and then another great thing is that Educate.ai is completely browser based, so you don't need to download or install any software. Of course, there's a lot of companies that are a bit weary about downloading, installing software. We recognize that. So everything on Educate.ai is completely browser based. You'll never have to download or install anything. It's really quick, really easy to use, and as you can see there from that screenshot on the right, it is very gamified and very user friendly. I have myself used it for internal training, and I really do enjoy Educate.ai. So, in terms of eligibility, suitability for a program, there is a few criteria that you do need to meet. So, for every single apprenticeship, you do need to be in a relevant job role. For the data engineering job role, you will need to be using data sets. You will need to have some prior knowledge of Python. You don't need to be an expert, but as long as you are comfortable using Python, then that is kind of what we're looking for. You do need to be sort of in a relevant role, whether that's a junior data engineering role. It doesn't specifically need to be a role that's got data engineering in it, but as long as you have access to using these data sets, you're looking at the data infrastructure, you're looking at how data is stored, how data is accessed, and preparing, sorting, organizing that data, then this program would be perfect for you. In terms of eligibility, there is a few criteria that you're doing to meet. So you can't have any prior or equivalent data training or related experience. You need to make sure that you have been living in the UK or European Economic Area for the last 3 or more years. And you do need to make sure that you're working at least 30 hours per week. You need to make sure that you're in a permanent position, or if you're in a fixed term contract position, that you have enough time left on your fixed term contract to cover the duration of the apprenticeship. So whether that's 17, 18 months. And then you just need to make sure you can commit to that 6 hours per week during your contracted working hours. So, of course, you will need approval from your manager and you will need approval from your sort of HR apprenticeship team as well to make sure that they're happy for you to enroll into the apprenticeship. In terms of the different advantages we hold, and just to kind of summarize on what we spoke about today, is that there's loads of different advantages to joining us here at Cambridge Spark, and especially with the data engineering apprenticeship. So, first of all, fully flexible online learning. You never have to commute, you never have to go anywhere if you're learning with us. Everything is fully remote, fully virtual, which is a really great way to, of course, be able to do your learning in the comfort of wherever you are. And of course, everything is completely browser based, like I mentioned as well. Educate.ai, our platform, like I mentioned, not only will you have loads of ways to self study on there, you'll be doing those live interactive workshops every single week as well. Expert led, very collaborative, doing that peer to peer learning. And then the final way that you'll really be driving that information in and driving those kind of skills in that you're gaining is through those work based projects that I touched on with your data mentor. So those are the three real crucial pillars. Those live sessions you're doing every single week, your self study that you're doing on Educate.ai, and then those work based projects you'll be bringing into your organization and really having that real impact on what you're doing, whether that's saving time, capital, like I mentioned, something along those lines. Educate.ai is also really great because, like I mentioned, you do get real time instant feedback on everything you're doing, whether that's doing a quiz, a module, an exam, whatever it might be on there. You have real time instant feedback and you do get those access to different recordings from workshops. It's a really great way to upskill yourself on there. In terms of real world practice, we give you real assignments. You'll be going into those workshops, you'll be doing different assignments, and you'll be working with people that are like minded individuals and that you can work together on these different kind of projects with. In terms of the curriculum, our curriculum's always updated, making sure it's the most up to date for you to be able to take your career with, be able to advance with, be able to learn new skills. And it's designed by industry leading data scientists and real academics that are continuously trying to improve the curriculum for the best of our apprentices. In terms of learner support, like I mentioned, you do have those two support mechanisms, your learner success coach, as well as your data mentor that will be working with you one to one along the apprenticeship. And they'll really be able to help you kind of get the best grade possible, whether that's a pass for you, a merit for you, a distinction, whatever it might be. We really want to see those distinctions and we love hearing those success stories as well. In terms of community, like I mentioned, you do have that peer-to-peer learning. You have that knowledge base on Educate.ai as well, where you can throw out questions, get answers from peers as well as experts on there. We also have a really lovely AI chatbot on Educate.ai as well. So there's lots of really cool features we have. We have a whole team here within Cambridge Park that are dedicated to improving Educate.ai and bringing in those new features as well. In terms of our community, like I mentioned, you'll be working with lots of like-minded individuals on the data engineering apprenticeship. It's a really great way to, connect together with on LinkedIn, whatever it might be. really share your stories and gain that kind of friendly environment as well. And everyone's in the same boat. Everyone wants to upskill themselves and wants to do better. So it's a really nice way to kind of bring that all together. And in terms of the final thing to mention is that we do have some really interesting industry insight sessions. So guest talks, lightning talks from really great individuals. And if you guys aren't aware already, we do have an AI and data mastery podcast that our founder Raul actually hosts. So if you do want to check that out, search it up on Spotify, give it a listen. It's really great because we have loads of fantastic kind of business leaders that Raul brings in, and it's a really great way to get some insight into data and AI transformation, that digital transformation, this new kind of digital wave that we're going through. So yeah, please have a look at that. Um, and I hope you really enjoy it because I always enjoy listening to those podcasts. In terms of next steps and how to get started with us, please take a look at our website. You can scan this QR code here. That will take you through to there and how to become a data engineer or learn a bit more. But check out our website. Like I mentioned, we don't just have data engineering apprenticeships. We have data analysts, data citizen if you're just starting off in your data journey, loads of different apprenticeships. So please take a look at those and look at our website and register your interest and check your eligibility on the criteria that I did share, and that is on the website as well. Um, but yeah, it'd be really great to hear if any of you in the chat have any questions. Please drop them in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to answer those as well. So I can see here, right? Do we need to be employed for 3 years? You don't need to be employed for 3 years. You just need to be living in the UK or European Economic Area for at least 3 years. None of those previous 3 years can be spent on a student visa as well. That is really key to note. And you also need to make sure if you are on a visa, that's absolutely fine. But just make sure that your visa has at least sort of the enough time to cover the entire duration of the apprenticeship, so sort of 18 to 20 months. Thank you very much, James. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks, Khaled. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, Abby. That's perfect. Yeah, if you guys do want to check out the podcast, like I mentioned, please click on that link, take a look. It's really great. We've had some fantastic people on that podcast. Please go and have a listen. There's loads of really interesting sessions on there. Is there any kind of other questions, queries anyone has? Thanks, Casey. Appreciate it. Do all data engineering apprenticeships have to follow the same curriculum? It does depend on the kind of provider. There is some flexibility in terms of modules. This is the way that we deliver the data engineering apprenticeship, and like I mentioned, we do deliver in a very hands-on, very interactive way. I'm aware that some other providers, they take more of a theoretical approach to it, but the way that we do it here at Cambridge Spark is that we really want you to have an impact. We want you to see that the time you're putting in is having impact on your team, your organization, and what you're actually doing, and link it in with your work. So yeah, that's the way that we deliver it, and that's why the curriculum is kind of set out the way it is as well. Okay, that's an interesting question. So you just completed the level 3 data citizen. Could you enroll onto this? So it is down to essentially what data that you have access to. Whether you do have some prior experience as well in Python, you don't have to be an expert like I said, but at least being able to have some proficiency in Python. But if you do have access to sort of your data bricks, data lakes, data warehouses, and you can look at organizing, sorting that data, then you would be eligible. So it's not in terms of the eligibility down to your particular job role, but just making sure that you have the right access to and the right exposure to different kind of duties. And there is a standard which is set out by Skills England that you need to follow. It's got KSBs on there that you need to follow, and that's the real kind of eligibility criteria. So what I'd recommend is registering your interest on our website, getting in touch with me or someone else on the team. and we'll run through that with you to make sure if you are eligible or not, and that way for sure you'll know. When will this data engineering apprenticeship start? It's a great question. So we do have a cohort coming up in September. So if you do want to join, you need to make sure that you, of course, register your interest, have a call with one of us. We'll go through everything in a bit more detail, discuss your kind of role a bit further, make sure you're suitable and eligible. And yeah, to get your registration form in, it does need to be in by the 20th of August to be able to join our September cohort. Do you have any advice for someone not currently in work but looking to get into a role where they can access and complete? So, what I'd recommend is sort of looking at different job boards that have sort of data relevant roles. Even if you're starting off in sort of an administrator role, at least you'll have that exposure to data. You could then start on our data citizen apprenticeship and work your way up. That's what a lot of people do. You start from your data citizen, you move into perhaps your data analyst or your data engineering, and you can really grow yourself in your career. And if I haven't mentioned already, these apprenticeships are government funded as well. So it's a really great way for you to gain these skills, gain that qualification at the end of it as well. And of course, there is no cost attached to yourselves. Sanjay, that's a really interesting question. So, the data analyst level four apprenticeship actually sets you up perfectly for the level six or level seven. So yeah, if you have completed the level four, I'd highly recommend getting in touch with one of us here at the team, registering your interest, and we can go through the level seven together. Can someone with data analyst experience as well? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, if you've done a data analyst apprenticeship, the data analyst and data engineering curriculums vary a lot in what you're doing. So if you take a look at the two different curriculums on our website, you'll see really the difference between the two. If you have done your data analyst apprenticeship, please get in touch. We can talk about the data engineering apprenticeship and whether that would be a good fit for you as well. Yeah, Naveen, I'd say, in terms of Python knowledge, like I said, you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to, know everything about Python, but you just need to have some prior skills, some prior awareness. Um, you can't just make sure that it's not referring to the snake and it's to the coding language. I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, if you're sort of a two or a three, that would be really great. Doesn't data analyst experience affect eligibility? So, being a data analyst and being a data engineer, although being a data analyst still gives you that kind of data experience and data awareness, they are two very different job roles and criterias and KSBs that you do have to meet. So, even if you have done some data analysis, then you even if you have done some data analysis, then you can of course still do the data engineering apprenticeship. They do vary quite a lot. I'd recommend you to look at our curriculum on the websites and see kind of the difference between the two. To kind of summarize it, data analysts are looking at reporting, actioning, insighting via Power BI, Tableau. Our data analyst apprenticeship, we also teach you Python from scratch. Whereas on the data engineer, we expect you to have some prior Python knowledge. You'll be looking at the data infrastructure, how the data is stored, how the data is accessed, and looking at really extracting, transforming, loading that data, and preparing it for data analysts and data scientists as well. Do you happen to know if any courses can be arranged with NHS Futures credits? Um, In terms of that, I'm not aware. James, to be completely honest with you, I'd recommend reaching out to one of us, registering your interest. We do work with lots of NHS trusts already, so we work with Imperial, Guys and St Thomas, Great Ormond Street. We work with loads of different NHS trusts. But I would just recommend reaching out to one of us, and then we can have a conversation together, even if it's sort of 15, 30 minutes, and go through everything in a lot more detail. Yeah, Angela, 100%. If you've got experience with SQL, you can still enroll. You can still join us because you have that knowledge in terms of a coding language. You know how coding kind of works, and yeah, it is quite not simple, but Python I'd say is more simple than SQL. And you could definitely kind of brush up on your skills before starting the apprenticeship with us. Yeah, no worries at all, James. Thank you for attending today's session as well. Um, Alex, basically eligibility is about not having. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Alex. Yeah, as long as you're not too advanced in data engineering, you're not sort of the head of your field, then that's absolutely fine. Well, thank you everyone so much for your time today. I really appreciate you all attending today's session. If you do have any further questions, please just feel free to go to our website, register your interest. I'd love to have some chats with you guys and talk more about data engineering. Yeah, it's been amazing to host today's session. So thank you very much, everyone. Really appreciate it, and enjoy the rest of your days as well. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.